Hello everybody and welcome to today's tutorial. um Today I am bringing you the Tornado Zig Zag, which is this guy. This is actually the one that I make in the video, so here is a little sneak peek. I think this one's pretty simple. If you know and are familiar with the tornado and the DNA stitch, this one should be pretty easy to follow. If not, good luck. Just kidding. It's good. It's easy. It's not that hard. So don't be scared. Don't be frightened. You can do this. So yeah. Um that's really all I got. That's a quick and easy little intro there. Do we need a cat cam? I think we need a cat cam. Let's get a cat cam going here. Okay guys, we have cat cam here today. Here is my supervisor. Not the spider, just the cat. Yes. Hi, Squish. Are you watching your friend? Yep. That spider likes to live in the window, but Squishy, do you have anything to say to the people? No? Okay. He has been snoozing the whole time during this whole tutorial. Hi, baby. He's like, Mom, can you not? My bad. Anyway, so again, here comes the tutorial. I hope you guys enjoy it, and do not forget to like and subscribe. So thank you. Enjoy. Okay, so for this stitch, it's basically the same as the tornado. We're just adding that zigzag effect to it. So nothing's really changing with the start of this. So you're gonna need at least 4 colors. So I'm gonna be using gold, navy blue, teal, and light blue. So these are my 4 colors that I'm choosing, and I'm gonna want to cut 1 string of each at 5 feet total. So here are my strings, all 4 colors, and again I have my key ring set to the side for when I'm done starting it. So the start of this is the exact same as the tornado, so there's no different start to this. So if you know how to start the tornado, you can go ahead and do that. If you don't, I'm going to do a quick rundown on it. I'm still going to show you, but I'm not going to go into as much detail because I already have a video about that. So I will link it here if you need a more in-depth. You can actually go watch that now and then come back to this. So here's the start of the tornado zigzag, whatever you want to call it. So there's my starting box. She's not flat, but that's okay. She will get flat as we do the next stitch. But I'm going to flip it over till I see these 2 strings, and I'm going to grab my key ring, which I'm going to grab a different one because that one's kind of not good. This one's better. And I'm just gonna slide it under those 2 strings and slide it on the whole way. I'm gonna give it a little extra tug, and there we go. There's our start. So we just started our stitch, and if you again are familiar with a tornado stitch, this is the exact same process, but we're going to be counting how many layers we do and then switching every so many layers. And if you know the DNA, we're going to do the exact same number of stitches or layers before we switch. We're not going to count this first layer. I just count this as the starting, so I don't count it as a layer. So the next layer that I start will be layer number 1, and I'm going to count 1 to 8, and then we'll switch sides. And switching sides, all we're going to do is do a box stitch, which will switch our strings. So I'm going to hold my key ring for a good grip. And again, the first layer is always a little tricky because your strings don't want to stay looped, I guess, or they want to crisscross more. I don't know, but it's always a pain. So here I have my strings laid out, and I'm going to start with my bottom left. So this is the exact same as a regular tornado layer. So I'm going to start with this bottom navy color, and I'm going to take it up between these two up here. And I'll make a loop. And everything's going at an angle, so everything will twist. And I'm going to take my other navy, I'm going to bring it towards me. And it's going to go on the right side of that first loop that we did. Then starting with the bottom teal here, I'm going to take it up, I'm going to do the same thing. And it's going to sit beside that second navy loop. And bringing down that last teal string, setting it beside. So parallel, parallel. Keep that in mind. All right, now I'm going to work top left to bottom right. So I'm going to take the top left string, which is my light blue, and I'm going to go my over, under. And as you saw, my loops definitely crisscross there. And again, it's because they don't really have a setting stone yet. But this first layer will be that setting stone. So I just did that layer, and it's going to ladder from top to bottom. So I'm going to do light blue, gold, gold. Okay, so nothing will ever go above the string that you just did. Now I'm grabbing my top right string, and I'm doing the same thing, but going to the left. I'm going over the first loop, under the second, over the third, under the fourth. I'm going to pull, and try not to get a twist, which I'm definitely getting a twist. Pet peeve. All right, now I'm going to work in left gold. Same thing, over the first, under the second, and this one's always tricky because you want to have those first two colors like push you. All right, I gotta go a little angle here to wiggle this guy through. There we go. Over, under, over, under. Okay, up and over. There we go. But this needs to go over. See, it does not want us get up there. Okay, once we secure it with this fourth string, we'll be good. Over, under, over, under. Okay, so once I have that, none of my strings should fall out. And when I pull, I get a quad box yet again. And my strings do not switch places, so everything's in the exact same place as it was when we started. Okay, and now my box is getting flatter, so it's gonna be easier to work with. So that was technically layer number 1. So I need to do 7 more of those layers before I do a box stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and quickly do those 7 layers, and then I will come back and show you the box stitch. Okay, I just did my 8 layers, and if you don't know what I mean by 8 layers, I count them. So we'll use the teal color because it's easy to see. So again, I don't start that first not. So like this first one, this first loop, I don't count that. So I start on the second one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 layers, and now I'm ready to switch my strings. So again, in order to do that, I need to do a box stitch. So I'm just going to lay out my strings so that I can see my box. And with a box stitch, you're doing everything the same, but you're not going to add an angle. So instead of actually starting with this bottom string that I did at first, I'm actually going to start with this top string. So I'm going to work from left to right, up to down. So I'm going to start with this one, and I'm just going to bring it straight across. So just keeping it straight. This guy, straight across. Teal, straight across. This one, straight across. So basically, wherever they're starting at, so for example, this first navy color was starting on the top left. I'm bringing it to the bottom left. So it's still on the left side, but it's just top to bottom. Then I'm going to start with my top right. And I'm going to do the same sequence, over, under, over, under. And I'm going to push that up to the top because nothing's going to go above that. So I did that blue. Now I'm going to do this blue, which is knotted. Same thing, over, under, over, under. Pull. No twists. And then I'm going to do my gold. And my final gold. Maybe get in there. Once I have that, I can pull to create my box. And then if you look at your strings, you will notice that they are opposite now. So like my bottom blue or bottom navy was on the right side of that box, now it's on the left side. So all my strings just did a flip-flop basically. And that'll give us the option when we go at an angle this time. This will give that opposite twist effect. Okay, so now that I did one box stitch, I'm going to do 8 layers going at an angle. So I'm going to do 8 spiral layers. So I'm still going to start with that top string, that top blue string, and it's on the top right of that one box. I'm going to bring it to the bottom left. And I'm going to do this bottom blue, it's on the bottom left, taking it top to the right. And then just repeating that with the other 2 strings for this first loop. Okay, from there I'm going to start with the top right, because if I look at the box, I don't know if you can, yeah, there we go. The blue's on the bottom of that box, so I'm going to take it to the top. So over, under, and it's sitting now at the top. Take that other blue string, same thing, over, under, pull, and it's going to sit right below that one. Okay, our gold, same thing. And our 4th gold. I'm going to pull, and I'm going to get the same outcome as I started with. There we go. And if I look at my keychain, I will notice that I'm starting to twist the other way. So here was my box, and then there's my first twist to the right. Okay, so that was layer number 1. So I need to do 7 more layers like that for a total of 8 before I do another box. You obviously don't always have to do 8. I just normally stick with 8 because honestly, I don't know. It was an even number, and when I first tried it, all the sections looked even and it looked cool. So you could go halfway going one way on a keychain and then flip it for the second half. But I've never made one like that before. But again, you can twist it however you want, how many layers between. You can do 10, you can do 6, whatever. But I normally stick with 8 when it comes to my keychains and the products that I make. Alright, so I went ahead and did my 8 layers to the right. This is what we're starting to look like, which is really freaking cool. I did not do my box yet, but I'm gonna show that to you here real quick. So that you can see that my strings will then flip again to where we had them the first time when we actually started this keychain. So I'm just gonna do just a quick sped up version of this, but that way, again, you see that we end up how we started. So once I tighten that box, I look at my strings. My first string that I start with is back on the right side of the box. So I know that I've twisted and that I will start going to the left again. So at this point, I normally do 6 or 7 sections. So by sections, I'm counting like going to the left is 1 section, going to the right is the second section, going to the left is section 3, you know. So I'm gonna do about 6 sections. Depending on your string length, you could go 7. I know with my DNA, sometimes I do 7 sections, but for these, I try and stick to 6. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the last 4 sections, and then I will be back to show you the final product and also tie it off at the end. Alright, so here is my 6 sections that I finished, and it actually is the length that I make my other keychain, so I'm going to stop here. I do have more string, so I could probably make a 7th section, but I'm just going to stop here. So once you have the length that you want with your keychain, we can go ahead and tie it off at the end. So I'm just going to take all my strings and I'm going to tie this off like I do any other keychain. I'm going to take all these strings, I'm going to wrap it around my finger to create a loop, and then I'm just going to put all the strings through that loop and then pull it into a knot. Then I can go ahead and cut off a lot of my excess string there. I do about here. So if I were to measure this, this would be about 7 inches long from the top of the keychain to the bottom of the tail. But here is the finished product. So I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Please do not forget to check out my Etsy. I do have a new 4th of July collection on there. This video is going out around the 4th, around that time. So go ahead and go check that out. So thank you guys again for watching. If you liked this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. That way I know that you are enjoying these and that they are helpful to you and that I can continue making them in the future. So thank you guys again, and I will see you guys in the next video.